Hello and welcome to round 14 of the F1F Virtual Grand Prix Championship here in China. I'm not joined by Harry Westwood today because he's on holiday, but I am joined by Series CEO Nick Morley.
Thanks for having me.
Let's take a look through the grid then. We have Beckenbauer lining up on pole from Ruiz, Simon and Kinneman 3rd and 4th, Giordano 5th with championship leader Will Hoskins 6th, Ellington and Wagner 7th and 8th, Campos 9th and Dominicali rounds out the top 10, Thunder 11th ahead of Davenport, Milkovic 13th, Boston 14th, Powers down in 15th, John Matson 16th, Ivan Lezic 17th on his return, Dwyer 18th, Gardner and Agostino 19th and 20th, and at the back the Force Australias and the Warriors, Bayer, Osterhagen, Nakamaya and Kubat. As we look at the grid, we have, we're looking a bit further down the grid than at the start.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but we'll go with that.
Cameraman must have missed the front. We've no idea what's going on, but they're away now, and we're on board with Ruiz as they get away. He looks as though he's got a slightly better start than Beckenbauer, but Beckenbauer looks like he'll hold the lead into turn 1. No, Ruiz down the inside. And once more, Beckenbauer loses the lead from pole at turn 1, and Ruiz leads from Carl Beckenbauer. Kinneman up to 3rd, Simon drops to 4th, Hoskins is up to 5th.
Hoskins challenging Simon there for position.
As we take a look back through the field, one of the Force Australias has made up quite a few positions, while the other one languishes at the back. But once more, Carl Beckenbauer losing out from pole position. He really needs to work on those starts.
Absolutely, that's the third time in 4 races now.
But a mighty start from Kinneman in the Westwood, and Beckenbauer's gone wide, and Kinneman's looking up the inside. Oh, they go wheel to wheel, but Kinneman can't quite make it, and he's run out over the curb and loses time down the back straight. But he's down the inside of the hairpin, and Kinneman, he gets a much better exit, and Kinneman's into 2nd.
What was that from 5th on the grid from Timo Kinneman? And
like we appear to have well, there is a storm in the area, so forgive us if the picture disappears at points. Unfortunately, we can't see anything either. We can hear the cars, but we can't see anything.
Well, they did predict rain, so maybe this is the building up to it, maybe.
Absolutely, the storm in the area is probably... Oh, we have pictures back now. It is cloudy, but it doesn't look too dark.
And is that Hoskins' set of Simon there?
I missed that, it might be.
Maybe we missed that. Maybe Simon's jumped ahead of Hoskins into 4th now.
As we watch the whole field come down the back straight. And now jump on board with Elroy Wagner, who sits behind Lewis Ellington, I believe, and ahead of Enzo Dominicali. So roughly where it started. Sorry?
Elroy Wagner has been on form lately.
He has, yeah. He's really been outperforming John Matson.
I mean, you take back this time last year, we had John Matson into the championship fight. And this year, just sort of put it down. And
absolutely.
See Puccio Giordano passing Simon again, so Simon has lost another position there.
Yeah, because he has actually lost out to Will Hoskins then, who is up now into 3rd place? 4th place, because Kinneman's in 2nd, isn't he?
That's right, yeah.
So Hoskins 4th, Giordano up to 5th, and Simon drops to 6th then.
So
and is that
from 6th in 4 laps?
Well, Beckenbauer went from pole to 3rd in less than a lap.
As you'll see, Ivan Lezic on his race return for Peugeot. And his teammate
and Lewis Ellington with a move on Simon, who loses another place.
And this is Giordano on Will Hoskins.
It is looks to the outside line at the final corner, then the inside. Can't get past. He's clearly much quicker. And Ellington he's already stretched away from Beckenbauer and on the back of Giordano. So the Franklins and Liverpools, who have dominated the season so far, really, look suddenly without a lot of speed here. As finally Giordano Hoskins and moves up into 4th.
Brilliant move too. You've got to say,
as we see
cars, probably to your disappointment, maybe have been on form completely lately.
Huge disappointment. As we see up front, Timo Kinneman is keeping pace with Enrique Ruiz, and both of them stretching out ahead of the field.
And there's Keith Boston. Looks like he's got a bit of a train of cars behind him there.
Including both of my guys.
You've got to say,
As,
Cinnamon, he
jump on
deserves
board.
the result, doesn't he?
There's John Matson there following one of the Ingram cars. And is that as Ruiz still leading from Kinnaman. And they're both miles clear of Beckenbauer in third now, really.
I wonder if they're lighter on fuel.
I suppose that's possible as Campos looks to the inside of Marcus Thunder and takes him at the hairpin. Impressive move there from Campos, is not one we've usually seen from him.
We've seen a lot of moves down that hairpin so far in this 8-lap race.
We have, I'll be honest, I think this 8 laps has been more interesting than the whole Italian Grand Prix.
Exactly, and at least overtaking on the track.
As Ellington passed Hoskins as well.
Wow.
What is going on today with the Liverpools and the Franklins? We have Ruiz out front, but Beckenbauer, Hoskins and Simon just seem to have no pace compared to some of the other guys out there.
Absolutely.
As we now have Marcus Thunder up behind Keith Boston with Davenport behind him. As is this Ivan Lezic on his return puts a move on Carson Davenport.
Good move too.
Quite a line to the hairpin. Kinnaman, he's a long back but takes a look at Ruiz, just showing he's there. Beckenbauer still runs third, Giordano up to fourth, Ellington is now into fifth. And chasing Giordano and Beckenbauer. And Will Hoskins is down in sixth. Oh, clumsy from Giordano, just tags the back of Beckenbauer. Luckily they both get away with it. And Beckenbauer keeps position. Oh, no, Giordano's at the inside. At turn one, what a beautiful move.
And another lost position for the Liverpool there.
Absolutely, so Beckenbauer's now back in fourth?
We've actually got both Rossi cars and both Liverpool cars overhead of them.
We have, is Dominicali past Simon?
Must have done. We missed it.
So Adrian Simon has lost another place. But Kinnaman up front still keeping pace with Ruiz.
Ooh.
As Ellington looks to the inside of Beckenbauer at the hairpin. He's got better exit. He's done it. Beckenbauer loses another spot.
What is going on?
This is incredible.
Incredible racing, you got to say. But, you know, it's just the people you don't expect to be doing it.
Absolutely. Especially Kinnaman. I mean, the Westwood car, it seemed to be really, really quick in the last few qualifying sessions. But in the race, they either fall back or suffer mechanical issues. But maybe this is the reason then is Kinnaman pits at the end of lap 13.
Very interesting indeed. 13 laps on that field.
That's an early stop. Could that be hinting towards a 3-stopper, do you reckon?
Well,
Dominicali on... Was that Hoskins?
I believe it's right, yeah. So Domenicali passing Hoskins now.
Wow, so another... Well, Hoskins loses another place, but Ruiz... class of 1 up front. Now that Kinnaman's pitted. And Dominicali on Beckenbauer.
These Rossi cars are moving through the field.
This is crazy. And
now Wagner on
as we see
Simon.
further back, it's Wagner on Simon. Simon loses another spot. What's going on?
Well, as we see Hiroto Nakamura touching the rear of John Matson there. Very lucky to avoid contact as Puccio Giordano pits, followed by Lewis Ellington.
Yep, so we have then the drivers who were running, well, second and third after Kinnaman's stop, pit, and Giordano comes out of the pit ahead of Nathaniel Powers, who hasn't pitted yet.
That's interesting. Are the Downtons running one less stop than the Rossis?
I couldn't say. It might give away vital information. As we see Ruiz still leading up front, but further back, the Liverpools, they really seem to be struggling. A setup issue or...
Was Domenicali pits and... Oh, here we go. And then Carly's ahead
Oh,
of his teammate,
Giordano slows
but
and then just drives past his teammate.
Now
And
it's-
Powers tries around the outside. They go wheel to wheel. Dominicali holds on though. Damn. We needed that.
race leaders in.
Oh, Ruiz pits then. So I wonder where he'll come back out. This will be really interesting to see as Beckenbauer down the start-finish straight now to take the lead, we presume, and Ruiz comes back out just behind his teammate
And behind
and then gets
Wagner.
passed by Wagner.
So Ruiz
That is
has dropped to fourth.
incredible. In 19 laps, Ruiz has pulled out nearly a pit stop over his teammate.
Wow.
As we see Kinnaman not too far behind, although he looks to have lost out a little bit in the stops. And then behind his teammate is Keith Boston in the second Wester. Could they finally be looking at a strong result as Elroy Wagner dives into the pits from third place?
He does.
So we have Beckenbauer leading, but still yet to make his first stop. Same with Hoskins in second. Ruiz third has pitted. Simon fourth hasn't. Kinnaman running fifth also has pitted. Keith Boston sixth hasn't pitted. Seventh Mark Thunder hasn't pitted. Eighth Puccio Giordano has pitted. Ninth Carson Davenport who hasn't pitted. And in 10th Enzo Dominicali who has pitted as well. So where's Ellington gone?
There's Powers.
Ellington looks to have lost out
Was that
quite a
even
bit in
there?
that. Oh! Ruiz just drives straight past his teammate on the start finish.
Dashes, team orders quite clearly.
That's
there.
got to be a team order. Different drivers on different strategies, surely.
There's
I mean,
Kinnaman.
Hoskins visibly slowed.
Simmons running wide, and now Kinnaman will have a big go. Oh, there we are.
we for some reason cut to his teammate briefly, but Kinnaman goes through past. And but Simon looking back up the inside into the hairpin, and Simon takes the place back.
He's got it done. So Simon finally making up.
Clearly
some
fed up of
position.
losing positions.
But well, now Kinnaman's going down the inside, and he retakes
At the
it.
inside of turn one, Kinnaman takes the place back then. So these two drivers have swapped places in the last 4 corners.
And not what old Adrian Simon would have wanted to see.
Absolutely not, but Kinnaman driving the race of his life at the moment. I mean, who'd have ever thought he'd be mixing it with Liverpool's and Franklin's this season?
Well, he's got the talent, he's definitely displayed. He's had an awful amount of luck, you have to say.
He has. He really has been one of the unluckiest single drivers this season. And he's also absolutely demolished everyone that's been put in the second seat as Kinnaman makes his second pit stop and rejoins just behind one of the Downtons.
I think it was Powers.
I think it was Powers as well. But as our footage has gone again. The storm. The weather radar says it's not too far away, but it doesn't look that dark out here.
Oh, there we are.
As we have picture back as Carson Davenport goes down the inside of Puccio Giordano. Giordano's fighting back. Can Davenport do this around the outside? He's holding on.
Here.
And yeah, Davenport has held on around the outside. What a move!
But Giordano could get him down here at the hairpin. He's close enough.
He could, and Davenport doesn't look like he's going to cover. He might pull across. No, he doesn't. Giordano just fires back down the inside and takes the place. And he's pushed Davenport wide, and Harley through as well. Well, that was a little bit silly from Davenport. He should have covered that. As our footage dies again.
More technical issues, it seems.
Yeah, the storm playing havoc with our feed, but not with the race at the moment. We can hear the cars, we can hear what's happening. It's a shame you can't see it. As we see Simon into the pits then, as our feed recovers for his one and only stop, surely on lap 29. Leaves the pits, he's behind Kinnaman, is that?
It is. So Kinnaman ahead of Simon there.
And now back into the pits for his first stop, and Ruiz will resume the lead as Hoskins pits as well.
On lap 30.
So that's a definite one stop then from Hoskins and Beckenbauer as Romano Agostino into Adrian Simon. Luckily they both get away with it again, and Beckenbauer rejoins ahead of Giordano and Dominicali. And Hoskins is behind both of the Rossi cars, but ahead of Kinnaman, who's also ahead of Simon still. And
oh no!
That's Marcus Thunder. That looks like a suspension failure for the Brit. Pulls off at the side of the track. He was in a point scoring position. I wouldn't say it was that strong, but it was points.
We didn't see much of it,
which is what we need.
Was looking good for points. As again, annoyingly, the feed is cut out again.
Absolutely. So, I wonder if that's a sign that the storm is getting closer.
I'll tell you what.
Could the end of this race be affected by rain? As if we need any more drama as we get the feedback. And Dominicali, oh! That was clumsy. I expect that'll have hurt. As he's run wide, and Giordano wasn't Giordano ahead?
Maybe we missed out when the feed cut out.
Yeah, absolutely. But Giordano goes back past his teammate and then pits on the next lap. Then, so this is Giordano's second and probably final stop. He leaves the pits. Where does he come out? Is there anyone around that we can gauge roughly where he is? Nope. But race leader Ruiz in for his second stop then.
So presumably we'll get him to the end, but there is Beckenbauer and Ruiz is ahead.
He is. Ruiz is pitted and rejoined in the lead.
That's incredible.
Ruiz in an absolute clone. And he's just popped in a fastest lap straight out of the pits. That's brilliant. Really getting on with it is Enrique Ruiz. As we go to the back of the field, and Felix Bayer, he's retired. That's a shame.
And in the middle of the track.
That's a little silly. But thankfully it seems as though no one's hit him, as Kinnaman hits for a third stop then, and Wagner in behind him for a second. So it was a 3 stop for Timo Kinnaman. You presume it won't be a 4, as our feed cuts out again just as they enter the pits. Oh, only a short one that time. We're back.
That's good.
As we look down towards the tail end of the points in the midfield, we see Davenport leading one of the Ingrams, one of the Funds, and John Matson, but Ruiz out front by a mile. Carl Beckenbauer running second, Will Hoskins third. We believe all of those drivers have made their stops, with Simon fourth, Kinnaman running fifth, who's also made stops, as has Simon, Dominicali sixth, Wagner in seventh, eighth is Lewis Ellington, running ninth just behind him Puccio Giordano, and currently in 10th, Carson Davenport himself, and we believe all of the drivers have made their final stops now.
And Ruiz has a massive lead over the German.
He really does. He missed out on pole yesterday by 1,000th of a second, and he's really making up for that now, isn't he?
He is.
As we see Dominicali falling back a little bit from, I forgot who was behind.
But Ruiz
falling back from whoever he's behind.
Yeah, but he needs to win the championship. Ruiz needs to be winning these races. We have Hoskins in third, but we have quite a big, substantial lead in the World Championship.
Absolutely, and Ruiz has been consistent this year, consistently on the podium, but he has been lacking them wins, hasn't he? Just one.
Well, I thought he was on for a win in Belgium until he crashed into the pits.
Yeah, that was a little silly. Definitely cost him. But we also need to... Oh! We have an accident! That's John Matson and Nikolai Milkovic, I believe. And what's happened there? With 6 laps to go, well, Milkovic is out. He has no rear wing, and Matson's just driven into the wall. And, oh, that looks like brake failure for John Matson.
There was sparks coming from the car too, you could see.
And nothing he could do there. And poor old Milkovic was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
We seen a lot of that last year, actually.
We did, yeah, but a lot of that wasn't brake failure last year, was it? It was just people being stupid.
And wet weather.
Yeah, that probably didn't help. But, so Matson and Milkovic become the latest retirements with 6 laps to go here. But Ruiz is still leading. And just a note, if the race were to finish as it is now, with Franklin 1st and 3rd and Liverpool 2nd and 4th, Franklin would very nearly have the points they need for the title. For the Constructors' Championship. They would need to score just 1 more point over the remaining 3 races to secure the championship.
Looking more and more likely that they will successfully defend their championship then.
Absolutely. And this is Dominicali stuck in gear with 2 laps to run here in China. Enzo Dominicali, who was on for another strong points finish, is stuck in gear, and surely he'll lose out. He's lost out to Wagner. He loses out to Wellington. Through goes Giordano as well. Dominicali slips down the field and will likely pit at the end of this lap to retire that car.
He does.
Oh, what a shame for Rossi.
It is a shame. Dominicali has been on quite some form lately. Even outpacing his teammate Giordano.
Yeah, which is very rare, but
final lap.
Ruiz has been the man today by a mile. Rounds the final corner. Ruiz wins here in China, comfortably ahead of 2nd place, which goes to Karl Beckenbauer. Hoskins is 3rd, so loses 10 points of his lead to Ruiz. Simon will finish 4th, and so Franklin are not Constructors' Champions, but need just 1 more point as our feed cuts out again at the final moments as the drivers are coming across the line. Thank God we have the results come up in a minute.
Well, we do apologise to the viewers out there watching all over the world.
Absolutely, as we see Davenport and Agostino across the line then. Unfortunately, we don't know where they finished because we don't know quite who's finished ahead of them, but we know where this man's finished. Enrique Ruiz, top of the pile, and by quite some margin.
Absolutely brilliant performance from the Brazilian there.
As he racks up his 2nd win of the season and another podium finish, we take a look at the results. It was Kinnaman 5th from Wagner, Ellington, Giordano, Davenport and Agostino rounded out the points. As we have a look at the retirements there, Nathaniel Powers finished just outside the points. Will Hoskins' lead has been trimmed by 10 by Enrique Ruiz, and Adrian Simon is now out of the championship battle. So it will be between just the 2 Franklins and Karl Beckenbauer, who is quite far adrift but mathematically still in it. And in the Constructors, Rossi closed the gap to 16 points to Downton.